to be here. In the past, when I used to try and persuade my mom to come to the show, she always used to say to me, "Oh, my dear Wardie, am I coming to your silly show?" So, since she insisted, poor thing hardly ever gets out these days. She's been so focused on downsizing. So please give her a very loud hi mom welcome. Thank you folks. That's great. Now, talking of that sort of thing, I got really annoyed when people started calling COVID the boomer remover. Now, as a boomer, I had no intention of being removed. And nor did I want to contribute to anybody else's removal. So I washed my hands, coughed into my elbow, wore a mask, did the whole distancing thing. However, very early on, studies started to show that the virus could be transmitted via fecal matter. Now, given like sneezing and coughing, flatulence is a well-known aerosol generating procedure, I had a serious problem. It was really hard to fart into my elbow. I ended up having to wear the pens, and those things cost a lot, right? But talking of boomers, give me a cheer if you're a retiree. Just me and Mom. Now let me tell you, retirement's great fun. Not only because I have a wife and a car that are both still working, but also because when I do crazy stuff, people aren't sure that I'm taking a piss out of them or that I'm seriously senile. So I love going to a pharmacy, grabbing a box of condoms, going up to the counter, and asking where the fitting rooms are. And talking of fitting rooms, going to a real fitting room, you know, like in a clothing store somewhere, and sitting there for a few minutes, and then shouting really loudly, "Oi, there's no toilet paper in here!" But my all-time favorite, those on an aeroplane. Actually, this is a wee bit gross. You okay with a bit gross? Well, hopefully you finished eating then. Okay, you know those long, boring flights? In the good old days when you used to be able to fly, right? When they come out to serve the food, I'd always order the stew. And when no one's looking, I slip the stew into one of those bath bags, right? And then I get up, and I stumble down the aisle, heading towards the loo, making retching noises into the bag. And just before I get to the loo, I stop, turn around, wipe my mouth, take a fork out of my back pocket, and head back to my seat while I pick my stew. Now, if you've never seen synchronized barfing before, let me tell you, it's a sight to behold. For some reason now, I'm on Air Canada's no-fly list. Go figure. But what's also fun, though, is the stuff you don't have to do anymore. You know, like the little annoying things in life. Like I don't know, you know, when you get up in the morning, you have to snip your underpants to see if you can wear them again, right? I don't do that anymore. So I just know I can't. But I am an old fart, okay? I turned 70 this year, so I'm really relatively new to social media, iPhones, apps, and all that sort of stuff. So I still make silly mistakes. Like the other day, I was taking a photo of this horrendous hemorrhoid I had. It took a while to get the lighting right. But those iPhone cameras are amazing, aren't they? You know, I was taking this photo because I wanted to send to my wife to get her opinion. Instead, I sent it to all of my contact lists. Talk about embarrassing, because it cost me an absolute fortune in stamps too. And as for apps, you've got to be very careful of apps, because it can be quite embarrassing. Take, for example, those aging apps. You know the ones, I mean, the whole bunch of them downloaded and it shows what you look like when you get old. Now, obviously, I don't have to do that because all I can do is look in the mirror. But for the rest of you, be very careful because it can lead to embarrassing situations, as my friend Tom discovered. See, his son Jamie downloaded the app, and the net result was that Jamie ended up looking just like Mr. Johnson, the next door neighbor. Tom subsequently downloaded for his wife the "What you're going to look like when you get a divorce." And as for Facebook, I can't stand Facebook, or Meta, they like to call themselves now, scumbag. I never know what's fake news and what's real news. But I did come across a post that blew my tiny mind. It was on a global survey of sexual attitudes and behaviors of older women and men. Now, apparently, healthy men in my age group, that's 65 to 75-year-old age group, in most countries of the world, have sex roughly once a week, right? And by roughly, I mean approximately, not whips and chains kind of roughly. That's way too much like hard work. However, there was one serious outlier: Japanese men. Japanese men in my age group are lucky if they get to have sex more than once a year. I was shocked. This is a major revelation to me. I had no idea I was Japanese. My wife clearly knew, right? I don't want to give you the impression that the time is all just fun. There are some downsides to it, like the aging process. Ask Mom. And for me, I now discovered I have lots of doctor's appointments. And one of the most memorable ones was I was sent off to have a cystoscopy. Now, if you ever told you need a procedure that ends in scopy, let me tell you, it's not going to be fun. Because someone's going to take a little probe with a camera on the end and shove it up, down, or through one of your orifices. Now, give me a cheer if you're not yet 50. Spoiler alert. One of your 50th birthday presents is going to be a colonoscopy. And let me tell you what that feels like. It feels like the doctor's taken a hamster, stuck a tiny little GoPro on its head, and shoved it up your jaw spine. And what's more, they want your colon to be squeaky clean. I guess they don't want anything to get on the fur of the hamster. So a day or two before, they give you this really strong laxative to take, right? And they tell you, don't stray too far from the toilet. Very good advice. I spent the entire day sitting on the loo, spray painting. I was doing a fecal Jackson Pollock, right? I used up all the toilet paper in the house. But I digress. Back to the cystoscopy. Now, a cystoscopy is a probe into your bladder. Now, you can imagine which orifice they went up to get there. And it's the tiniest one of all. But I'll spare you the gory details. But what was great about this thing, I had to have an operation. It wasn't great. I had to have an operation on my prostate and my bladder. But there was a wonderful side effect: a dry orgasm. No poo, no mess to clean up ever again. Now, I think that's something many women would appreciate, right? Thank you. But for my wife and myself, what that's meant is that we now no longer squabble over who gets to sleep on the wet spot. Because someone didn't do her kegels. And our household consumption of Kleenex has gone way down. Folks, before I leave, please give Mom a big hand. She really earned it.